What is up, my ninjas? I'm Strydent, and I am here with a different kind of video. This year has been strange for me. In some ways, things have been great. I've been, having time with my son and my wife and everything. I've been, I just finished some more work for the Collectors Club. As much as I don't like the Collectors Club, um, I've been doing illustration for them, but there's downsides, big downsides, and the downside to that is that it hasn't been paid work. I tried to get a Mezco Batman, I couldn't find one, and that actually started last year. Um, but there's those some of the good stuff, and then there's the bad stuff. My job sucks. I'm not enjoying the job. Um, it's something I trained to do, but the company I'm working with is garbage, and I'm leaving that company. But it's kind of one of those jump into the unknown situations. But I make that decision. I get a thing in the mail saying from my MCN saying that they've been cut from the YouTube Partner Program, so I'm being cut from it. I was like, wow, I wonder why. So it said something about having the 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months, and the you know 10,000 lifetime views, 10,000 yeah, lifetime views to over 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in the last 12 months. So I thought I was cool. I was like, I should be good. I'm almost at 3,000 for subscribers. My watch time for the last 12 months is 925,431 minutes, which breaks down to 15,000 hours plus. So I'm like, I should be good, right? Apparently I'm not. Um, I don't understand what the issue is, and the email doesn't really give me a lot of information to understand what it is that's missing. What it is I haven't done, what it is I haven't been able to achieve, and I'm a little frustrated because what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, what the serious fuck? Like, what what kind of situation is this for? You know, like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? What's really fucking going on? How are we in a situation where um, people like us, the smaller creators, are being targeted? You know, when in reality, we're what makes YouTube YouTube. It is called YouTube. That hasn't changed. The problem is that it's become more company focused, more business focused, and less, you focused. Um, they said that I'm going to read off of this email. It says that having been part of YouTube's amazing community for nearly 13 years, we care deeply about our ability to not only help drive growth and success for partners, but also our ability to support a strong, healthy platform community for years to come. In this vein, and following YouTube's continued efforts to further support the ecosystem on its platform for users, creators, advertisers, and networks, they've reached out to us and all networks to make some key adjustments in our partnership programs. As part of as part of this adjustment, BBTV is repositioning its partnership program and services, and we're going to be expanding our publicly available resources in the coming weeks to help growing channels achieve more success on YouTube and beyond. You're receiving this email because as part of our repositioning, we'll be releasing your channel from our YouTube content owner as of February 28th. Since you'll need to reapply to YouTube Partnership Program in order to continue receiving revenue from your channels, we've also reached out to YouTube about your channel's release, and they've advised us that there should be no issue or delays in reviewing your application. So it's like they're letting me go, and then I have to turn around and reapply. The strange thing about reapplying is, like, how will I be part of... Well, in the meantime, I lose my the things that I had access to for free as being a partner. This whole thing sucks. I mean, like, if I'll reapply and I'll see what happens. But the problem is I didn't make very much money from them. I used the program as a way to have access to the tools to upload when I felt like uploading, you know, on a schedule somewhat, and to, like, I could schedule out when I do it. But now those things are on YouTube. Also, I was able to use their music from, you know, Epidemic Sound, and put that stuff in my videos. Now I'm going to have to buy a subscription. I mean, just like anyone else. But I'm a smaller channel, so it's going to be another expenditure. You know, another thing I'm going to have to put money into in order to feed a channel that doesn't really pay much money back. So it's just becoming less and less of a fun thing, and it's starting to become more of a just more of another bill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm paying for this shit. Now, I do have a couple patrons, but I don't have very many patrons. And that's always been a problem because I put out a lot of quality content. You know, I look at what I do and I compare it to what's out there, and I do good stuff. I know I do. But for some reason, some of the channels that, I'm just going to say it straight up, garbage, you know, they're garbage, get a lot of the attention. But it's because those folks, they don't really, they don't put in the effort. They just mimic what they see. I'm trying to give you an original perspective, and I'm trying to give, you know, some pretty, you know, detailed analysis, some real world, no BS analysis on things. And I give it to you raw, straight up. And for some reason, YouTube has become the place where that rawness is just not respected, nor is it garnered, or I shouldn't even say garnered. It's not encouraged. They want everything to be the same way, watered down, neutered, corporate, and they don't want, you know, original thinkers. They want you to be original, but package that originality in the same package that everyone else uses. And I just refuse to do that shit. That's not my way of doing things. And it frustrates me that that's what we have to go through. So I'm going to I'm going to look at my channel. I'm going to look at the way I've been doing things. I'm going to look at what I'm doing, and maybe all my content will move to Patreon. You know, maybe a lot of things will change because I just, you know, I don't know. I might have to come at this from a different perspective. Who knows? Maybe I'll just reapply and they'll say, oh yeah, you have enough time, so you'll be good. But I don't like this thing. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know somehow I didn't know everyone was going to be cut off, and then you'd have to try to jump back in. As far as I knew, I mean, based on the figures, I should be fine. But you know, leave it to YouTube to fuck up something really simple, and somehow, you know, all because of Jake Paul's punk ass, you make everyone pay. Why didn't you just, like, nix that motherfucker? He could deal with it. He makes enough bank off all his fucking merch. Like, why do we have to suffer from that? So, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what to do. I mean, there was a point in time where I was thinking about migrating all my shit to VidMe. Then VidMe folded, and it was like, fuck, that could have been a viable place. But I saw some of the problems, which is why I slowed down. I have stuff on Dailymotion. Maybe I'll start being more aggressive on Dailymotion. I'm a little tired of this bullshit with YouTube, you know? my YouTube channel didn't pay me much money. I would make like, 12 to 15, maybe $20 a month on there. You know, that's like almost my full gas tank. You know what I mean? That's a full tank of gas for me, just about. Whereas when I'm on Patreon with only 3 patrons, I make a lot more than that. I mean, it's not a big amount in terms of you know like my cash out is not some giant cash out, but it's more than $20. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot more than $20. So I could actually put it towards stuff, and it takes off a bigger chunk, so that I can actually do this more often. So maybe more of my efforts will have to be geared towards Patreon. So now more than ever, I need you guys to, if you want more of this stuff, support the Patreon. You don't have to. I'm just saying it makes it easier for me to do this. Because trust me, I'm not living some lavish life because of Patreon. The whole point, if it was the case, I would have quit my job and I would have just stuck to making art and, videos. But yeah, this YouTube stuff is bullshit. It's the wrong way to go about doing things. It's about us. That's why it's called YouTube. It's not called ThemTube. It's not called Corporate Tube. It's called YouTube. We are the you. It's about us. It's about normal people presenting information the way that we can do it, not the way that a business does it. So now everybody's a business on YouTube. So then you just killed YouTube, essentially. It's no longer what it was meant to be. And because you have fucking, businesses and giant corporations and celebrities and, musicians and blah, blah, blah. You have all these, and I mean like established businesses, established, business entities, established actors and musicians, etc., etc., and giant corporations backing them. How is this YouTube anymore? It's not. So I don't know how much of this I'm going to stick with. I don't know if this is viable for me like it once was, if I have to go through all this. Because just imagine, I get content ID claims on music that was in videos that I made 10 years ago. What the fuck? What the serious fuck? 10 years ago, or maybe just shy of 10 years ago. You couldn't have, in a way to be smart, you couldn't have found some kind of way to just grandfather people in if they've been part of YouTube since before all this bullshit came into place. I mentioned it in the video when they took down my channel because of some kind of, they told me I had too many strikes because they got rid of what video was it? I can't remember, but there was a video that I put up that they just killed my channel, or tried to kill my channel for. And I was like, really? There was nothing illegally put in that video. I mean, like what we learned in college, in film, if you use, like 30 seconds of something, you're not breaching the copyright. If you use 10 seconds of something, you're not breaching the copyright. But on YouTube, they fucked that shit up so that they could get people, so they could try to get money, claim money, slow down, which doesn't make sense, but they just found ways to police people in ways that were unnecessary, because all this is free advertisement for anyone who comes across these videos and sees that content. You put Batman in your video on YouTube, you're advertising for Warner Brothers and DC Comics. Whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, even if it was your goal, that's what you're doing, So the company doesn't have to pay you to do that. There shouldn't be blowback for you doing that, You put some song from your favorite artist in your videos, or you constantly do that. Most of us don't make any money off YouTube in the first fucking place. So what, you make $1 off of that shit? Meanwhile, you just created a sale of the whole album for, that artist? Because someone might be like, oh shit, who is that? Fucking, that's the new Prodigy? I want that shit. That's the new Immortal Technique. I want that shit. Granted, there's other ways to get Immortal Technique stuff, because he will give it away for free in many cases himself, because he understands promotion and shit. But You know what I'm saying? That's the new shit. And it's good. I want to go buy that. You know, you're building awareness for things that people might miss. YouTube has its own magical explanation for these things, and they're taking advantage of folks. So I don't understand a lot of these things, and I'm not a business person. So that and that might be blatantly obvious by some of the limited understanding that I have of this stuff. You know, I barely look at my analytics unless there's a problem. And I understand some of the stuff. You know, I understand that, 4,000 hours is much less than 15,000 hours in the last 12 months. So I shouldn't be in that area, I know that, 3,000, just shy of 3,000 subscribers is more than 1,000 subscribers. So I don't understand the issue. So I'm a little frustrated with I'm more than a little frustrated. I'm very frustrated with this bullshit. And like I said, I'm going to be figuring out what I'm going to do from this point. So I appreciate any suggestions, and I mean like real suggestions. If you really know how some of this stuff works, or viable places to do this stuff on, or if you know the ins and outs of this program, because I'm going to be doing the research myself, so you might not see me on YouTube for a while. But if you have feedback that, can help, if you have ideas that can help, because the shit's already taken effect. I can't get on whatchamacallit. I can't use Epidemic Sound now without having my own subscription, which I'm about to try and do because I need one, because I need my music. I'll be using YouTube's tools for scheduling videos because I have a couple videos that I did, including this one. I've been working on the new core figures video, which is a pretty decent sized video, which is why it's taken so long for it to get up. I still have the Shadow Tracker video, which at this point is going to be an exclusive to Patreon, because I can put it up there with whatever music I decide to put in. I don't have to worry about all this bullshit, And I have a couple other shorts that I'm working on at the same time, and all that shit might just show up on Patreon just to keep things 100%, funky on Patreon, so that you guys will see this is the kind of stuff that Strydent's been working on. This is where all the art stuff is. This is where the majority of everything is, because it's not worth it. Maybe I'll move to Twitch, because this YouTube shit is it's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's complete bullshit. Especially when you've been on the platform for as long as I've been on the platform. And in the beginning, all I did was make reviews that kind of oppose the popular viewpoint on things, because a lot of times it was very topical. Oh, they made this character wearing this color that I don't like, so it sucks. And I'd be like, no, the color might be off, but the figure does all these other things. It's not terrible. Plus, this is, shit that they actually wore. Or, this movie had this actor I don't like. He ruins it for me. So fuck that movie. And I'd come in and be like, no, the movie has its own merits. You may not like this actor, but there is so much more to a movie. And even that, because I was opposing the popular opinions, I didn't get the kind of attention that the other channels got. And I still don't, but I understand that. Also, I'm a big G.I. Joe person, and I have been. I mean, it's kind of petered off in the last couple years, but I'm more of a G.I. Joe person, so I'm appealing to a small market, And if you look at all of us popular G.I. Joe folks, none of us have a giant, subscription base or subscriber base. So us talking about the Joes, we're talking to people who like a toy line from like 30 years ago. You know what I mean? It was the shit 30 plus years ago. I'm almost 40. So, you know what I mean? That's the majority of my life that this shit has been great. So it's us older guys that are digging this stuff, and these things are kind of geared towards them. So, it's a lot of things that seem to be stacked up against us. And it sucks because the final JoeCon is supposed to be this year. I'm trying to get to go. Um, but you know, the way things are looking, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I got to bolt down what the next move is gonna be job wise, what the next move is gonna be on this fucking channel, what's the next thing gonna be, you know, as far as, you know, how everything goes, like how what are we gonna do? So I'm gonna figure that stuff out, and hopefully, you know, you guys will you give me your feedback, because you know how it works, and very soon some movement will happen, and we'll figure this shit out. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it anymore. This is it. That's all I want to talk about. So I hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from. I hope you hear what I'm saying and actually understand my frustration. And you know, I hope that some quality feedback comes out of this, because you know, sometimes we need it. I tend to be very you know, I try to be very fixer in my approach, which is what I'm working on right now. Is I got things going on that need to be fixed, and I'm fixing them. But sometimes even fixers need help, you know. So let me know what, and I mean fixers as in the personality type. I don't mean fixers as in some Ray Donovan type shit. But you know, let me know what you guys, you know, how you got, what you guys think, you know, possible game plans, etc., etc. And you know, that's it for me. You guys have been great. Thanks for the support, and I guess I will talk to you later. Peace outside.